Hey peeps, I wanted to come live on Instagram and share a little yoga mat inspiration. I just finished up my yoga. I found doing some yoga through these times has been a huge help for me. So I wanted to bring some live inspiration to my peeps on Instagram. So how's everybody doing today? Sorry, I had something on my phone. How's everybody doing and handling all of this craziness now that we know we are in it until the end of April for those of us in upstate New York? The goals in our house are to use the time to find the positive, get outside as much as we can. Me and my daughter Leah have been really enjoying some yoga, and I've been enjoying exploring some intuitive insight and divine expression through my many different card decks. So I wanted to come live and share some inspiration with you today. I've got 3 of my decks here today. I've got my affirmation deck. This is not an official deck. These are just cards I grabbed from Michaels and affirmations that I have written on them over time. I've got my Work Your Light deck from Rebecca Campbell. And then I've got my 4 Agreements deck fashioned after the 4 Agreements or the 5th Agreement by Don Miguel Ruiz. I can never remember his name. And in the background, if you can hear it, I've got playing over here to my left some music from Chris Collins off of indiemusicbox.com. I'm really enjoying this as background music, go-to meditation music. And I think taking some mindfulness moments to do some meditation, do some yoga, and do some calming breathing are very useful tools amongst the chaos of everything. Before we get into the reading, I want to remind you that these are meant for spiritual entertainment and enlightenment purposes only. So please take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't. And if you have any physical or mental health concerns, I ask that you seek a medical or physical health professional. Alrighty, so let's get started. We're going to set these 2 aside. We're going to start off with our affirmation deck. I'm going to spread it out. I'm kind of feeling this one today. They're sticking to the mat. I can't pick them up really well. So if you decide you would like to purchase a personalized intuitive insight reading, we can do that. We can meet up through a video chat source that works for you, and we draw cards from the deck and go over what they could mean for you and what energies and insights we're feeling around you at that time. So our affirmation here: all my challenges and choices move me forward to my highest good. So I think we're obviously going through a time of very intense challenges, and this affirmation encourages us to realize that all of our challenges might have the opportunity to share with us some wisdom. There's lessons we can learn, and there's notions of love that we can learn amongst our challenges. There's items that we learn about ourselves that we didn't even know we could, things that we conquer that we didn't even know we could. And I think sometimes our challenges are meant to expand our mind and expand our awareness past the routine we've gotten into. So I feel like we had fallen into a very solid routine, and some of this energy and some of these challenges are meant to push us out of that routine and to reassess what works for us. And by taking the time to set aside the discomfort and to focus on what am I learning at this time? Okay, yes, this is a struggle. This is stressful. This is causing me anxiety. But what am I learning at this time? What is it that I'm able to learn about myself and my capabilities or life or the world as a whole? One thing is to focus on the helpers and the joys and the support that are everywhere. The amount of people that are supporting one another, and the discrepancies and the disgruntled arguments that have been set aside to handle this challenge has created a bit of oneness amongst all of us that are struggling in different ways. And of course, those that are really truly struggling with this illness or are on the front lines, it's super hard for you to grab onto this and to grab onto what lessons and what positives could be in this. So I welcome you if you are if you're on the front lines of this, or if you're struggling with this disease, if I can help you in any way, I'm here. And if I can pull a card for you to find some insight, I'm here. As well as I have a meditation I'd like to share, because I can't imagine being on the front lines or struggling with this illness. But I like that this encourages us to see past the challenges, to realize that we do have choices on how we want to face our days as we're stuck in quarantine, and to pull on the lessons that are given to us at this time. And that's our first card. And then we're going to pull cards from our Work the Light deck from Rebecca Campbell. She has a couple books out there, and I enjoy her books. I've enjoyed reading her books, and I'm slowly working through my second one of hers. But this is her Work the Light deck, so we're going to pull a card out. And we are going to actually do this one because it kind of popped up there, if you saw that. So I'm thinking it's the one that wants to join us. Okay. So, the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. So, the notion of this card, even though it feels a little bit vague, the idea is that we all carry a light within inside us. We all carry this divine spark and this divine light. And I feel like it connects our soul, our spirit, to our physical and mental self. And I feel like this light, it connects us to our purpose and to how we communicate that beauty with the world, that inner beauty with the world. And I feel like this, it calls on all of the ways that we've connected with that light in the past. If we each have that inner divine light. Hi, baby. If we each have that inner divine light within us, and we've experienced it in little ways in our past, I feel like the time frame that we have currently, this open time frame to be at home and to go within a little bit, encourages us to connect with all of the ways that we've experienced that light in the past. What makes you happy? What makes your soul sing? What makes you grab onto your faith? Or what allows you to embrace the idea of higher awareness or the highest good? What makes you feel most creative and grounded? What makes you feel like you're offering something to the world? Now is the time to grab onto those and to trust that you're able to go through this and you're able to share that light with the world in however you feel fit, however you seem that works for you. And that you've really been maybe possibly doing this for many different phases of your life and many different ways of living that you've experienced in this lifetime. And if you believe in past lives, maybe there's things from your past life that have brought you to this moment to be able to conquer your challenges and to bring your beautiful divine light that sits inside of you out into the world. So I like that. I like that she has this light in her heart chakra, and then she has a light above her and kind of in her crown chakra or above her crown chakra. And she's working with that to share that light and to hold it, kind of hold space for it and to nurture it. And I feel like that encourages us to come at a place of compassion and love and to remember that we are connected to a higher awareness and we can hold space for that higher awareness within our life.
Gotta be careful when you brush your ears, okay?
Okay, yep.
I'm gonna brush your ears a little bit.
No, we don't use the same brushes. Mommy's gonna finish my life now. Thank you. So allow yourself to hold a little space for what makes you feel like you're connecting to that divine light inside of you. Very cool. So there's that one. And then we're going to finish off with my Fifth Agreements deck. I think I'm going to go over here today. Kind of liking this one. Don't make assumptions. Assumptions are nothing more than lies that I'm telling myself. Not making assumptions gives me immunity in the interactions that I have with myself, with my own voice of knowledge. So the notion of assumptions, the automatic first thing I think of is don't assume that we know how this is going to end. Do not assume that you know what path your life is going to take, or that you know the truth of the heaviness that you feel in your emotions. And don't assume that you know, just in general, Try not to let your assumptions of your current situation, or perhaps the situation that others are in, don't let those assumptions rule your actions. And to ask questions beyond what you assume is going on. Ask questions beyond the fears that pop up into your mind. Ask questions beyond what you experience from other people. And if you feel like somebody, take for instance, if you feel like somebody is a little distant from you, maybe they're dealing with something, an emotion or a struggle or a stress or anxiety that you're not aware of. So ask beyond that assumption. Don't just assume, oh, they're angry at me, they're frustrated with me, they don't want to talk to me, they're disconnected from me. Ask beyond that. See beyond that. And if you feel like you have situations within how you're dealing with life these days that you feel are limitations or that are strong limits to what you're able to do and handle, ask beyond that. Seek help beyond what you assume is happening in life. So seek out help to help you see past the struggles that are going on currently. Don't assume that your struggles are defining you, that your light and your strength can see past the struggles into finding resources that help you handle this and to help you see beyond your current assumptions of life. Does that make sense? Leave comments below if that makes sense, because I have this notion of the image that I have is like to see the individual or to see you sitting, say, on a mat, and then to have this ring of assumptions that's around you. And it's creating a barrier that is limiting you from seeing what's beyond those assumptions. Like beyond that ring of assumptions, there's this beautiful grove of possibilities that's out there. But the more you cling to those assumptions, the more that wall builds up around you, and that prevents you from seeing out into that grove of possibilities that is out there, and to that grove of understanding that is out there. So that don't build a wall up in assuming that you know how things are or how people feel or how things are going to be. Push past those assumptions. Knock down that wall of assumptions that you're building and see past to the possibilities that lie beyond that. Hopefully that last image helped to make things a little bit more clear. I think sometimes when we're working through our emotions or insights that we're feeling, if they're unclear, if we stop I know for me, when I'm in a reading, if something isn't feeling clear, if we stop and put an image to it, then sometimes it helps us understand it better. So those are our cards for today. Very unique cards reminding us of the divine strength and the divine wisdom and the divine possibilities that are around us, and reminded us not to get stuck in that assumption wall and to move past that. So I hope these messages find you well. I hope you're staying home and staying healthy. And if you are unable to stay home, I hope you're staying healthy. Like I said, if I can assist you at all, maybe offer some inspiration by pulling a card for those that are on the front lines working, or if you are sick and need a meditation to refocus your thoughts while you work through this craziness, let me know. I would love to help. And if you are interested in your own reading, in your own intuitive insight session, message me. I can get you some details as to how we can make that happen. Thank you very much, and have a uniquely beautiful day.